With 2016 fast approaching, it's time to take a look at the most anticipated movies for the year. And like every year, beyond the trailers, 2016 preview is divided into the top 10 original movies, sequels, and wildcards. But I have to say that even with all those slots, 30, I've never seen competition like this. And so today we're going to take a look at the top wildcard movies set for 2016. And this episode is sponsored by lynda.com, the online business school that allows you to be your very own wildcard, improving skills you already have or learning new ones. Now, number 10, that would be Dirty Grandpa, not to be confused with 2013's Bad Grandpa. Or, come to think of it, I'm sure Lionsgate wouldn't mind at all if you confused their comedy with Johnny Knoxville's huge box office hit. Dirty Grandpa is a wild card because while stars Zac Efron and Robert De Niro have had their box office hits, they've also had their box office flops, and the January release date isn't very reassuring. Still, Sacha Baron Cohen's longtime collaborator Dan Mazer directs, and Efron, who won MTV's Best Shirtless Performance prize 2 times in a row, seems to be going for a third win. Speaking of hot guys, our number 9 wildcard, The Nice Guys, has a full house, with Ryan Gosling, Russell Crowe, and Matt Bomer. Kim Basinger also stars. Basically, this 1970s porn murder mystery is Boogie Nights meets LA Confidential, and 90s wonderkind screenwriter Shane Black writes and directs. Black got this movie off of Iron Man 3, but then he still has to also live down Iron Man 3. Plus, Ryan Gosling and Russell Crowe, well, they wish they had Efron and De Niro's 50-50 box office track record. At number 8, it seems like the exclamation mark is making a comeback, from Jeb Bush's presidential campaign to the Coen brothers' Hail Caesar. This comedy takes place at a movie studio in the 1950s, where a fixer is trying to find out the whereabouts of one of the studio's actors who's vanished. And Hail Caesar is a cavalcade of stars itself, with Josh Brolin, George Clooney, Channing Tatum, Tilda Swinton, Jonah Hill, Frances McDormand, Ralph Fiennes, and Scarlett Johansson. Yet movies about the film industry never seem to connect with mainstream audiences, and lately the Coen brothers have been hit or miss, both at the box office and with critics. But while the public isn't too keen on movies about Hollywood, they love zombies and British television and HBO, which our number 7 wildcard hopes to capitalize on. Pride and Prejudice and Zombies stars Downton Abbey's Lily James, also from Disney's smash hit Cinderella, and Matt Smith from Doctor Who. Plus Lena Headey and Charles Dance from Game of Thrones, and Jack Huston from Boardwalk Empire. And while David O. Russell is no longer directing as originally planned, his fingerprints are apparently still on the script. But the real question mark here, besides Russell's departure, is that novelist turned screenwriter Seth Grahame-Smith's similarly themed Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter was such a huge flop. Then at number 6, we have one of our most exciting wild cards, The Great Wall, which is the first true co-production between Hollywood and China. Shot in China with a Chinese director, Zhang Yimou, China's Andy Lau, and America's Matt Damon co-star, and what's being described as a sci-fi actioner that revolves around the Great Wall of China. Chinese audiences are turning out to see Hollywood flicks in droves, but will American audiences be as open to a film that's so heavily Chinese? Now, before we get to the second half of this list, I'd like to take a moment to thank our sponsor, lynda.com, who is offering a free 10-day trial to Beyond the Trailer viewers. Just go to lynda.com/BTT to sign up and get unlimited access to courses and tutorials taught by experts, like how to copyright your original work, how to shoot on location, or how to become really good at Photoshop. Again, just go to lynda.com/BTT, that's lynda.com/BTT, to take a look around and sign up for that free 10-day trial. So what's number 5? That would be the Lonely Island's first true movie, Connor for Real, after their practice run back in 2007 with Hot Rod. Shrewdly, this new comedy will be about a boy band that comes back together, allowing the Lonely Island to include what's sure to be a killer soundtrack, as music has so far proven to be their strong point. Why is this a wild card? Well, again, Hot Rod, and also while The Lonely Island is very popular with the East and West Coast, they have yet to transition their short-form success with hits like Lazy Sunday, in a Box, and I'm on a Boat to long-form entertainment. Then interestingly, number 4 is another TV sketch group looking to find success on the big screen, and that's Key and Peele with Keanu. In the comedy, two friends must pose as drug dealers to retrieve their stolen cat. Key and Peele couldn't be hotter right now, especially Key. Yet just look at The Lonely Island to see how difficult it is to transition from short-form to long-form comedy. Plus, having Will Forte in your movie is never a good sign. Sorry, Will Forte. Next at number 3, we've got Warner Brothers' Tarzan, as the studio continues to try and share in Disney's live-action fairy tale success. Tarzan will star Margot Robbie as Jane, who has become a very important talent for Warner Brothers, with Focus, Suicide Squad, and now Tarzan. And while Christoph Waltz and Samuel L. Jackson will co-star, the big question mark is True Blood's Alexander Skarsgard, who stars as Tarzan and has yet to make his mark on the big screen. What's more, this is a Tarzan sequel, with our hero returning to the jungle after years of living in London with his wife, Jane. Then our second wild card is Fox's Gambit, which is looking more and more like an actual Gambit. Since Hugh Jackman is getting ready to leave the X-Men franchise, Fox has high hopes that Channing Tatum can take over as their new mutant heartthrob and box office draw. And so does Tatum, who's apparently a big Gambit fan. Yet script problems and other issues almost made Tatum walk, and now the film just lost its director. Seems it's going to take a lot of Cajun charm and luck for this film to succeed. Then finally, the number 1 wild card of 2016 is Paul Feig's all-female Ghostbusters reboot, which, by the way, seems less and less of a reboot with the original Ghostbusters now all set for cameos, with the exception of Harold Ramis, who sadly passed away in 2014. Spy has become a real success, and of course there's Bridesmaids, proving audiences feel women are just as funny as men. But we'll have to wait and see how they react to having women not join men, but fully replace men in a beloved franchise. Then again, Sony can always just play up Chris Hemsworth. And those are the top 10 wildcard movies of 2016. I'm Grace Randolph, and this has been a Movie Bite. Be sure to stay tuned for the top 10 original movies and sequels.